Probably the people up on stage. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Meet the Candidates event for the Corinth Central District School Board. All candidates on the ballot are invited, and all of them are present. This event is organized by the district and moderated by the League of Women Voters of Saratoga County. My name is Kathy Bogert. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Saratoga County. I live in the town of Malta, and I will be your moderator tonight. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan volunteer political organization dedicated to the informed and responsible participation of citizens in government. The League never supports or opposes any political party or candidate. That has been League policy since 1920. Membership is open to anyone who is eligible to register and vote. Please consider joining your local league. We're going to start at 6. What time are we finishing? 7:30? Okay. Before we start, I want to remind the candidates and our audience that the recording taken tonight is the property of the school district. This event will be posted in its entirety. It may not be used by the candidate to post a link to complete recording. We do not make this request lightly. We have had recent experiences where candidates or their supporters have used portions of our recording or an audience member's home recording against their opponents. This behavior could discredit us as candidates, making it difficult for us to sponsor future forums. All candidates participating in this forum have pledged that they will abide by our policy, and I ask all of you in the audience to abide by this policy. Okay? Questions were sent to us by members of the community. League members reviewed and compiled them to be representative and to avoid redundancy. We rejected questions of a personal nature. Candidates, this is your opportunity to let voters know your stance on this topic and how you will address the issues facing the people you represent. Please don't waste valuable time tearing down or labeling your opponent. Deal with the facts. In your closing statement, absolutely no zingers. In other words, please do not put any of your opponents on the spot with no chance to reply. And all of the candidates have agreed to this. Audience, we ask you not to interrupt the event and to be quiet, respectful. No applause until the end. We have timers for this evening's event. Cards will be held up for the candidates to glance at. Green means you have 1 minute left. Yellow means 30 seconds left. And red means your time is up. You might get a bell if you keep talking. There are 5 candidates for the 2 open seats. The candidates in alphabetical order by last name: Travis Bill, Eric Bush, Anthony Charan Sook, Shane Crooks, and Krista Tygor. Now it is time to hear their 2-minute opening statement. They have drawn lots to determine the order. The first to speak will be Krista Tygor. Whenever you're ready, Krista. It's on. Welcome to yeah. All parents, 2 children who have been in the school district. One has recently graduated about 2 years ago with a sophomore year in college, and we have one more to next year. Both have had great experiences here in the school district. There's been before. Given the current state of climate within our local school districts and those across the nation, everyone increasingly concerned. Hear stuff at the ball field, hear stuff at different events, and so my goal as a board member is to solve any of these problems that arise within our school
and to make informed decisions while keeping in mind that they may not always be popular or easy. This town, this community, you're in a transition state of thought. People are starting to step up and take action and live their lives. So I think people are looking for transparency, open dialogue, and as well as collaboration among parents, teachers, advisors. So I'm committed to bringing open minds and objectivity to the board with a focus on healthy student and parent-centered decision-making, which is inclusive, collaborative, and transparent process, being procedurally and physically sound.
Okay, thank you very much. Travis, it's your turn for your opening statement.
Not so great at public speaking, not a big fan of that, so thank you for that. I am a parent of three. I've got a second grader, a fifth grader, and you can notice on the corner that we school out, something like that. I'm just kind of hoping to get onto the board and do what's best for our students and kind of get in and see the inner workings. A lot of things that are heard, whether they're right or wrong, should follow something. I could shoot and see what that looks like. And really just kind of what's best for the students. And their well-being mind.
Okay, thank you, Travis. Shane?
Good evening. I am also a father of Corinth School District. I have a 7th grade daughter and a 9th grade son. I recently retired last year, and on budget management in the state, I saw some issues concerning funding for local school districts that piqued up my interest in doing school district. So I started looking into it, talking to some people, and decided to put my name in it. So I recently retired after 26 years in law enforcement with the Saratoga Police Department, Saratoga County Sheriff's Office, and with the Georgia Police Department when it was. I believe that a lot of things I did, I got closely with the school, both the Saratoga High School, the elementary school, public and private school. One of my priorities in my law enforcement career with children, we did a lot of different things, focusing on kids in the at-risk state, doing secret reader programs, school safety audits, things along those lines. I've always been involved with different school districts at some point. Since my kids are here and I'm officially retired, I have the time on my hands. And my wife wanted me out of the house, I think, so we need to run. So here I am. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I'll have a chance to represent some board, one of them more. You might help my community in school. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shane. Eric, your turn.
My name is Bush. Lived in Corinth 10 years.
Can you speak a little, the mic turned on? I don't know if everybody can hear me, sorry.
I lived in Corinth about 10 years. My daughter is in 2nd grade. I've worked in schools in different districts for about 20 years in education, working in food service, higher ed, multiple districts in New Jersey and New York. Felt that I was asked by a couple teachers to run, but we had a balance of running, and that seemed appealing to me to get back. But what really drove it was one day that I was out at the bus stop with my daughter, waiting for the bus to come, pick her up. She was getting on the bus with the arm out, lights out, sped right past us on the side, with no real for the bus stop. And then it happened a couple weeks later. And I really feel we could say, I need to do something. That's where I started with the bus safety. I see a couple programs around Albany, for bus safety, cameras, videos. We money back to the district. From there, safety focus within districts on different committees. I enjoy. But getting seeing the issues and being solution driven It's something that I don't.
Okay, thank you. Last, Anthony, your opening statement.
Well, yeah, I'm Anthony. Pretty much a lot of the town already knows me and what I've been doing over the past several years, standing up for our students. For my opening, I'd like to say October 3rd, 1988, the League of Women Voters had a press conference to end the sponsorship on the presidential debates. Basically, how crooked and self-serving each party was, over transparently to the American people. Nancy Newman and the Women League of Voters had an incredible impact on me at that time. Your organization did what was right, instead of falling prey to self-serving organization, and stood with helping the American people. Well, I'd like to thank you for that. Which brings me to this moment. I'm here not because I want to be, yet because I need to. There are serious problems within our district that need to be addressed. And it's time to stop pretending that there isn't. We cannot continue pretending that we have no problems, as the first step in solving problems is recognizing that there is none. I'm not here to blow smoke up your feet, and the community that I have, sorry, well, I don't have every answer, and I'm not here to smooth it. We have really good people in this community, so let us put our minds together and see what kind of life we can make for our children. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now it is time for questions. Candidates, you have up to 1.5 minutes to respond to a question. You are not required to respond. You may pass if you wish. You have 2 opportunities during the question and answer session to request an additional 1 minute to either add to your response or to respond to something another candidate said. Just hold up the red card if you wish to have the extra minute. Wait for me to acknowledge the request. The timers and I will keep track of the number of extra minutes used, so don't try to use 3 cards. Questions will be alternatively directed to candidates so that each one gets a chance to respond first. And lucky Krista gets to go first again. The district just completed a major capital project. What future projects should be considered?
Especially as we travel, not only I really like to see something more at elementary school. Make that your full-time football field, soccer field. It's just a great spot. Unfortunately, no, there's no snack bar. We pay attention to the thing for track meet. Track meet, baseball games, and other countries. So definitely.
Okay, well, thank you. Travis, do you need me to repeat the question?
No. Future capital projects. I think, kind of jumping on that a little bit, we do see a lot more involvement, seems like, with our sport programs. It would be nice to see some kind of better facilities, as far as all of our kids go. There's something flat as far as running water and bathrooms, those type of things. And I know our numbers have dropped a little bit for some of those events, but we are starting to see a little bit of maintenance from what I've seen down there. Come up with that. The other thing like that, probably some of our feedback facilities, given all our buildings, for like a lot of different hot, cold, kind of time of the year. And I think that's something that we need to address. Students are comfortable with the learning to learn long enough to have all of that out there. The focus education.
It's hard for us to hear everyone. You guys are going to have to talk a little closer to the microphone, I think. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I hope I heard what you said. All right, next is Shane.
Well, first I'd like to say that I really like how this capital project came out, the auditorium is beautiful. Second, I agree, sports field, I would love to see a turf field, someday in the future, but one of the things I think should be a priority is the rest of the inside of the school. The bathrooms are one thing that my son mentions all the time, I've used them here, and you can see those updated, you need to have some work done to them, that's the thing. One of the things I would focus on, or try to focus on, is grants. What grants are out there, what can we use to help offset the cost of the capital project? Funding is a good find. Something along those lines to help prioritize the direction of what we're after first. But those are the two things that I can come up off the top of my head. I know that the cafeteria, that they're talking about different things for supplying healthy food sources of our own food through the district. Something along those lines as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Eric?
Like I said, we got to start with bus safety, with the elementary schools, the next project, so for safety. Enhancements, improvements.
You have to speak closer to the microphone.
He's very close to the microphone.
Bus safety, elementary safety, safety service. I know food, so definitely say improving cafeterias, leveraging or the designation of the CDP district, if everyone was already in this one, look at capital projects that would generate some income for the district.
Okay, thank you very much. Anthony?
Oh, capital projects I've never really thought about because it just went to amazing. So I'd rather my capital project would be thinking more of how the taxes increases each and every year for our community and how it would affect the wallet. So I'd rather focus on that first.
Okay, all right. So the next question is going to go to Travis first. Travis, we're going to make sure everybody can hear you this time. I think everybody needs to speak a little louder. I know you think you're using a microphone, but you still got to talk about. Here you go. What are your ideas for attracting and retaining more school bus drivers and competent caring support staff?
I don't know if there's necessarily the right answer for that. I think that the job market is selected for all the people that are kind of fitting that description. I think that's unfortunately. I think that the only solution for finding that is like that's what the job is kind of pay based. People are going to be jumping around to whatever the highest district paying is, and I know that's right. But I think that's the unfortunate truth of the situation. My opinion, just kind of going to the highest district and we're seeing that across the board. I don't know, besides that, I've been doing Michigan incentive besides increased pay in Michigan, it's always correct, responsible to the
Okay, so we're asking about ideas for attracting and retaining more school bus drivers and competent caring support staff. And that question goes to you now, Shane.
Well, we're hiring, financial compensation is definitely one of the things people are looking for. It is a competitive job market right now for the employee, not employer. Different places for people to jump. So we have to find a way that we could make this place that they want. Second thing is making sure we have good clean buses, making sure that we have cameras on the buses, things along those lines that can help hold really students accountable for different situations, which would take some of that stress off of bus drivers that we do have. Also, as I said, we have a few volunteers here now having nice buses, nice things for people to drive, that they're utilizing, keeping the upkeep and making sure they're clean. We make that a little more, making the work environment nice, something along those lines. I'm not sure if other compensation you can offer, maybe 3 months of work off or something along those lines. But thank you.
Okay, thank you. Eric?
Pay is always number one from other districts. Bus drivers will leave for 50 cents, dollar more. If they go to another district, it's what they're paying for. So pay is always number one. But there are incentives that we could do in between their runs, like pick up shifts, uh, maintenance, custodial, monthly monitors, needs, whatever we can do to keep them so in between those runs, for 4 hours a day. um, Sit around town, waiting for the next shift or the next run. We could be doing the job, we could be just directors, and paying them for that job. That would be fine. Other incentives, I know it's tough for drivers and recruiting when you can't have us, a potential employee manual that's this thick and say, okay, we got 6 months to learn this, break checks, tests, all that. It's daunting. So something with the training incentives to bring them in and pay them during that process.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
You asked a question.
Of course I can. Many times you can ask the question again, please do. What are your ideas for attracting and retaining more school bus drivers and competent, caring support staff?
Well, let me start off by, many of our bus drivers that we have now are kind, caring, and supportive. They keep their buses absolutely clean. I actually volunteered last year, was it? To be a bus driver because we kept losing our routes and we didn't have kids able to get to school, leaving it on the parents. What we could do, I spent 5 months in training with no pay, even though I was ready in 3. Thanks to that guy. What more can we do? I think they've already implemented paid training. Is that correct? Cindy? No, there's still no paid training? There is, okay, thank you. The paid training is important. I think we really need to respect our bus drivers a little more throughout the administration. The lifeblood of our school. They have the responsibility of our children getting to school. Their job affects their home lives, their own lives, yet, honestly, treat them pretty poorly. It's sad. I wish there was something more we can do, but the only thing I can think of is bringing this to the board and see what we can do to better their lives. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Krista?
I definitely agree with the how it's across the board, and people are doing jobs and should be kind of doing what it is. We don't know budget wise what we have here to be able to support that, but it should definitely be compensated. Carry our children's lives in their hands, they transport them to and from their home to school. And some of them, not that great. I mean, that I think definitely doing a deeper dive to how to say and actually with the bus drivers to see what they would like to see, how they want to people up.
Okay. So this next question is going to go to Shane. Let's start next. One parent showed up for the guidance department presentation on April 25th about online cyberbullying. One parent. What can we do to encourage positive parent involvement in their child's home and school environment?
We have to get the community more involved. It's a culture that people have to want to be involved. We can put the information out there on the website, but people don't read it or don't apply for it. Pay attention to it, but we're not going to make a difference. We need to start by leading by example. The board needs to lead by example. We need to have all these new events that we have. We have sporting events every weekend. We need to have something there where we can put that information out there. Maybe we have someone designated as being a liaison with the community that shows up at these events, relating the information. makes it a priority, make sure the community that it's a priority for us. And then if they can do it's priority for us, I think they take it a priority for themselves, will start being more involved. It's a difficult thing to change, because it's taking more time for someone's life to come to the better. But it is a major issue. I've seen it in my previous career. It's something that's very good to do. Can be very dangerous.
Okay, thank you. Eric, would you like me to repeat the question? All right. One parent showed up to the guidance department presentation on April 25th, just one, about online cyberbullying. What can we do to encourage positive parent involvement in their child's home and school environment? And speak loudly.
So, it's definitely an issue. About, you see on various Corinth posts, venting questions, concerns about bullying. It seems like parents do a lot of venting. Social media themselves, so when it comes down to a school event, we do need to get parents to actually show up. Let the board know, let counselors know, administration know what's actually going on at home. So again, outreach, getting the word out there, maybe different times, different events. Holding one night is tough for people who maybe can't commit to that, sports or other commitments, but it's got to be focused for the district. Seems like it is. It needs to be focused on parents.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
Repeat the question again?
Mm-hmm. One parent showed up for the guidance department presentation on April 25th, only one. And it was about online cyberbullying. What can we do to encourage positive parent involvement in their child's home and school environment?
There's a ton of things actually. There's a lot of information on the New York State Center for Student Safety. We took the time to actually read about bullying, cyberbullying. There's a lot of information on it. Even my own daughter. I really turned it off. Sorry. All right, even my daughter was a victim of cyberbullying. But I can say Mr. Petzani did an excellent job of handling everything that was going on. And instead of just like punishment type of deal, he used it as more of an educational time to help another student. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's stay positive. All right, Krista? China?
I don't know how to put that to the public, that only one person showed up, and it was just on Facebook. I know we can get lost in that, or if that was also an email that went out, to all the parents. But like everybody else said on here, that is a huge issue with social media, kids having cell phones, younger and younger, not being able to navigate appropriately. How to get one apparently, you don't know the answer. We could like tonight, we have pizza or we can't get them figured out. Yeah, I guess I have to know how it was sent out to the public.
Okay, thank you. And Travis, you get to go next on the session and speak loud.
Personally, I think that 20,000 public is a big issue as far as that goes. I know working for volunteering for Booster Club, we have a lot of community involvement with our local businesses. Whether something or maybe the school, which is out with some local businesses, see about fire, things like that. Banners, visual items, anything like that. I'm sure more than enough business in town are going to do that. I think that a lot of it is getting the student kind of excited for. I know that's kind of a weird thing to get excited for. But I think it's something to just really be kind of ingrained into their minds and know that there are a lot of dangers out there, especially when it comes to this new cyber age. And I think it's not something we want to scare them out of. There are a lot of tools out there, but it's definitely something that they need to be wary of. So there are some very high consequences with those things that they may not think about now, but it really affect them later on. So I think getting out there in the community and just finding a way to sort of drive our students along, bring it up, get educated out together.
Okay, thank you. All right, this next question is going to go to Eric first. How do you see the role of dialogue and openness in the process of the Board of Education decision? Want me to repeat that? How do you see the role of dialogue and openness in the process of the Board of Education's decision making?
I think with anything, anywhere,
We can't hear you.
with anything, anywhere, I think it comes down to communication. That seems to be folks' biggest issue with everything. So I think it's how the board communicates, how I think it's how parents lose frustration, lack of info going out. I think dialogue and communication is definitely one of the biggest issues. I know coming from other districts, you know, even though parents are bombarded with emails and notifications, there's never documentation how it's sent out, text. But coming to board meetings is definitely step one. I think is important, either from the public directly. You know, they can try to seek it out, but coming out to meetings and giving an open, frank discussion and letting the board members hear the issues or problems that you have is definitely necessary. It's also sometimes hard for board members or district administration to say, well, I think you're doing within the district for our students.
Okay, thank you. Anthony, you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
How do you see the role, dialogue, and openness in the process of the Board of Education's decision making?
Well, a lot of the situations are simply just voted on, and it's just kind of what they go through, and but they go through and second, and then it's done. But with the community, there has been many parents that have brought issues to the board because it was not handled in school. Unfortunately, they got to the point where I had even started getting involved in the board meetings because I felt like I needed to. I brought up many issues. The issues were just ignored until I had to get the state involved. And then after getting the state involved, they actually started doing stuff properly with the Dignity for All Students Act, which has been in place since about 2011. And it's 2024. It's just, I don't know. And then it got to the point where even with our going in there, the agendas that we were given, they wrote in a paragraph that they're only entertaining us and not having to answer any of our questions, which was really helpful. The end.
Okay, thank you. Krista, another question again? How do you see the role of dialogue and openness in the process of the Board of Education's decision making?
To be honest, I'm not clear. Usually if I have a question and I hear say what's being voted on, I usually contact the board member. I heard this, is this true? Get better about it and myself finding out that stuff. But I think communication is definitely key. I assume minutes are posted and that's always helpful for people if they want to know what the issues are. And I'm sure they can put agendas out, just so people know what they're voting on, talking about across the board for everything.
Okay. Travis?
Overall, I don't know, the entire process for that, it's kind of misunderstood by most people. There's a lot that goes into the board of education, it's a lot of rules, procedures, to follow throughout all of that. There are many things with communication that are kept to more for private meetings between board members, or the issues that are only discussed. The first things for some contractual or HIPAA or sort of private grant that you were giving. And then I know that there are also public matters that are probably need to be discussed a little bit more. But I know that there are typically a lot of all of these a lot different. And it would not be nice to see more people either attending those meetings or I got at least got online but I'm on camera. Nice to see everyone involved in the thing. Through that whole it's just a mess.
Okay, thank you. Shane, you get to go last. You want me to repeat the question?
I know, but
Oh,
the Board of Education, you're elected official. You're out there representing the community. Everyone that goes to the school district, you have to have an open line of communication. You have to be able to take the time to talk to people. I know that I've spoken with some of the board members here about different issues. They've always been willing to take that call, have a conversation with me, explain what's going on. And it's the same thing we're rolling through the week. Have an open comment period to listen to and hear from the community before we make a decision. And then the board needs to focus on being transparent of how they make a decision. I do understand a lot of times it's communication. One way or another. It's one of the things I learned in my previous job. I would say one thing in a police jargon that meant nothing to me. But to someone that was a police officer, that maybe it was in a different way. But a lot of times it's making sure that that communication that it goes out there and explains why we did what we did. Everything from budgeting to writing the came about. Thank you.
okay, thank you very much. Anthony, you're going to get this question first. How does Corinth offer vocational training to our students? And can any be offered at the Corinth school?
See, what I know, all the vocational training is done at both. Is it not? I don't know. Well, and could anything be offered at the school? I am not quite sure. We did used to have shop classes, this and that, to teach their kids like electronics and whatever whatnot. But that is long been since the wind. If we could do it now, I don't know if it would actually affect the budgets that we had with both cities and what, I don't know, what kind of, relationship that we come between us both, because there's a lot of money coming back and forth with both cities. Both cities help us with bus drivers. We help them with, money to help our students get their training and vocation. Other than that, I really don't know too much.
These questions were submitted by the public.
It's okay. I'll just be honest.
Okay, well, that's all we have. Krista, yeah. How does Corinth offer vocational training to our students? And can it be offered at Corinth school?
So I'm assuming vocational will be other students that go to staff on the fall to take classes. I know we can pay for that as well. I'd love to see some of these classes offered here. I don't know that you would have the attendance, so I guess you'd have to see how many students would go, because I know it's not a lot, but you know, it's a good chunk. And I have friends that are like probably other schools being taking classes and coming here. So I think that would know the population and how many people would support it. The amount of teachers teaching teach that class.
Thank you. Kevin?
So I know our main source of that is both is for by CBL, hospitality, things like that. We also we participate in the ETech program, which is part of the student around that. That's a lot of kind of more technology driven things. It would be nice to see those programs grow. I think some of that might be a little lack in knowing programs are for students. But I think a lot of that comes out of actual numbers. It looks like, from my understanding, that there's only so many slots that we can, I think we've gotten to the capacity of a lot of those slots for certain programs, like we just kind of a capacity issue on policies and schematics. So other than that, and it would be nice to see some sort of facility gained here at the school to kind of get back into that more labor force training, because I know we definitely need, whether it would be sharpening things or again, operator roles in the next types of parents and students getting back into the shop classes that I know we need well, there's would be good to bring it back to the district and help practice all those facilities needs for the dollar, even current professional things, good thing in school that use those facilities are well, programs.
Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, Shane. No, yeah, sorry, I thought I could do this, so Shane, sorry. I get carried away with my checking off.
Currently, I think it's been stated most of the kids go to different schools to receive that type of education and training. There are different ideas and things out there that we can do. I know I've brainstormed something with some board members already, looking at different locations inside the school to bring a program here. Funding, trying to find funding for that is going to be the issue. But funding is always a problem. But if money was a problem, we would definitely be able to do it. But there's ways to work around that. Work with other school districts. We participate in the vocal program right now because that in the long run is cheaper for us. We could do something like a STEM bus, which Bloomberg has put together, where we can put something like that here. The bus is mobile. Maybe we can rent that out to other school districts. It's something I'm thinking outside the box. We're going to get our most return on our investment with students and the funding we have. So maybe we start a committee, look at different options, see what we can find. We can look again for grants for different things, stuff like money, and local businesses might be willing to help out or they not get everything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Eric. Speak up.
Posting is great, but having something closer within the room, maybe phenomenal for students and save them on average 45-minute bus ride one way out of OCs, construction, some heavy training, something integrated to all of that. Those classes fill up quick too, so to offer something closer in-house would be great. It's just figuring out.
Okay. Okay, Krista, you're up first. This is going to be should class sizes be reduced? And if so, how would the district financially support this? That's a good thought. I look at that. To be honest, all of the class sizes, because it's probably big. 20 something, 25 kids class. But if you reduce it, you have to bring in more teachers, not increase your budget. So kids are hungry, so you have to find out. Answer research. That's fine. Okay, Travis?
Again, it's money is not option. Yeah, we should reduce this class sizes. Getting closer to 3, 4, 5 students on one is a great thing. Obviously, now we're fiscally responsible. I think a lot of our teachers now are experiencing overburdened workloads of students. Just because I'm trying to lessons in between study halls and students acquire help students out when they can. I think yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that. Fortunately, budget would call for being able to district community room. I think you'd be seeing some very large increases as far as budget goes to do something like that. And I don't know whether there's especially an option for them to do that responsibly. Some of the future, brings from, maybe the entire community be involved. Budget on there, good option for that.
Okay, thank you. Shane?
I would be in favor of a smaller class size. I would think it'd be better to have 5 to 7 students per teacher and get more out of that. But realistically, just, I don't see how that's possible. You would devastate the budget. You'd have to find extra classrooms. You'd have to regrant the school for teachers. Do something along those lines what we currently have would be extremely difficult. That doesn't mean it isn't something that we could, if the community wanted, that you could explore forward to down the road, but it would probably never happen on my. The cost would just be too much of this. So I don't know if there's other ways in the ground there for the working with the teacher to try to come up with an idea, but this is what we have. But I would just say that right now we financially.
Okay. Eric?
I would say yes. But that's very difficult. But I saw printed for 60 to 1 ratio, what I heard. Run up by class size, 20 students per class. But there are definitely things that you could do by new technology.
I'm not sure you can hear me.
Sorry.
I'm getting messages.
Leveraging technology needs more support in the classrooms to help.
Okay. Anthony?
Yeah, you repeat the question.
Of course. Should class sizes be reduced? And if so, how would the district financially support this?
All right. Well, first, let me start off with the recent niche.com information. Our pre-K through 12th grade, we have 1,097 students, which is average of 13 to 1 student to teacher ratio. The most important thing is really not to ask us, but to really ask educators on how we can best serve our children. They would have the best things, not us. And how would we fund it? We would look at basically grants, other teachers to their ideas, because those are the ones who are really, really trying to push us to be the best they can.
Okay. This question is going to be Travis first. What level of professional discretion should teachers and librarians have in book selection? I can repeat it if you want.
I think overall, it's important to make sure that our students have the ability of the books to cover all cultures that we come from. Everybody comes from a different life. There's a very fine line as far as I know, it's not just around the world. Can be very high issues as far as that goes. I think that we need to be wary of getting any sort of explicit content per se, how to spell younger students, especially. Again, we're not trying to open those doors for them, but we're trying to make sure that they're aware of things that are available to the world, and things that are happening in the world, and all leading to this. It's all based on that, because you not necessarily restrict them to that content. I think as long as we're mindful of the safety involved with that, goes hand in hand with our safety sort of the protocols at this point. We don't want to move beyond it. Peter probably should have the books for based on that.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to repeat the question. What level of professional discretion should teachers and librarians have in books?
They need to have the ability to have some sort of own personal preference to bring things in. students to read. When I was a kid in English class, I would read things like Where the Red Thorn Grows or Kill a Mockingbird, and that just did not pique my interest. I had an English teacher who allowed me to read J.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, other books like The Dark Tower, science fiction books and all that line. That allowed me to put my interest in it and to read it, and I still read regularly with that. But we also need to follow certain recommendations set forth by the state. Obviously, we would want explicit books falling into any government classroom if we can't search that stuff on school internet. We want the students reading it in the library. So there has to be some sort of balance. I would have some discretion, but I would also make sure that someone has some sort of oversight in making sure that we aren't bringing in something that's inappropriate for the age of the reader.
Okay, thank you. Eric?
We don't agree that dark time should be. It's very dark and with it, you know, you put your trust in the right material. Hopefully, curriculum is available for parents to see that if there is an issue with that. I think it can always be brought up, but yeah, I think it's on the teachers of librarian to pick what's relevant. And I don't look at that. So.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
Let's see, start right off the bat, I don't believe in banning any books. Librarians, teachers, they should be able to use what they need to actually help our students. The only thing that we do need to keep out, which is actually by federal law, is stuff that is explicit. Unfortunately, even one of our school libraries has some comic that's pretty explicit sexually. That should not be in it, which is actually a felony. That should be out.
Okay. Krista, you want me to repeat the question? What level of professional discretion should teachers and librarians have?
Personally, I think I think as they there needs to be open dialogue. Don't want topics with it, but I think parents kind of when you're going over the syllabus, that parents can have a copy as well to know what they're reading. Just so, like you said, I had to read books in basic category like the Belgium or all of them. But again, it's all. So, yeah, just definitely open dialogue. Get feedback.
Okay, thank you. Shane, I'm going to ask you this question first. Do you think programs and discussions fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion among students should be part of the district's mandate?
I think that diversity, if everybody was the same, the world would be a boring place. Having conversations about that within the school is not a bad. I do think that there could be whatever curriculum follows that the state recommends. We have to have an open mind. We have to understand that not everybody's going to agree on everything that will be the plan. So having a conversation that fosters that isn't bad at all.
Okay, thank you very much. Eric? Of course. Do you think programs and discussions fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion among students should be part of the district's material?
I do. I think it's some of the best programs that will run. I think the best ones that I've seen actually come from student run events. If you're listening to your kids, sometimes they surprise you in really great ways. So, for that.
Okay. Anthony, do you think programs and discussions fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion among students should be part of the district mandate?
Absolutely.
Right now, we actually do have something called the diversity club. It is not only for LGBTQ, but of color, people that don't feel like they fit in. Um, um, Even if you don't feel like you're the same economic standards and, you know, maybe you don't have as much as someone else does, you're still welcome to be a part of it, to meet people who will accept you for who you are. Unfortunately, the club doesn't meet as it should, which was approved 2 times a month. Um, it's amazing because we really need to talk to our students and how they could, really make our students grow and be more accepting of each other, to teach each other. The more we help our students, the more they're going to help themselves. I think we should have that.
Okay, thank you. Krista?
Absolutely should be part of the curriculum. And it will become student to other students, but not the same as them. But this whole word, nobody is the same. So I think we should be part of the curriculum.
Okay, thank you. And Travis?
I have to agree with zero. I think it's not something should be included. I think that one was they're growing. It's very important. More bring those issues up and show people, you know, how communities that willingness to schools, all people's minds.
All right. Sounds like everybody's in agreement there. All right, I'm gonna go to Eric first. Are you satisfied with the current tech guidelines to protect privacy and avoid scams such as phishing? Yeah, you know what I'm phishing.
No, I mean, I didn't, probably have that of that.
We can't do it.
Between email, phone numbers, phones, I think that's all, internet. Also, what the school, finds down on, for our students with that, whatnot, but no, I think it's academic. Spam calls, emails, ads on Facebook, I think it's a major issue. I don't be addressed in the district, but I think socially, talking about this.
Okay, thank you. Anthony, want me to repeat the question?
Yes,
Are you satisfied with the current tech guidelines to protect privacy and avoid scams such as phishing?
it's just like that.
Why not?
It's spelled- It's spelled PA.
Phishing.
Just like you're on fish.
Okay, whatever.
All right, for our school district, actually, the way they monitor their computers, I think they do an excellent job. Even if they do, the children do a search, it's flagged. They, honestly, you know, I can sit here and complain about everything. There, they do a good job.
Okay, thank you. Krista? Yeah, do I have to say that word? Are you satisfied with the current tech guidelines to protect privacy and avoid scams such as?
I think it's great. Sam, it can go on, but close to, so I really die. Good job.
Travis?
You know, being the technology to myself, I think overall the IT department is very well, very good job at that overall. It's one of those things that's very hard to focus on. They have lots of staff, but one candidate just wants to figure out how to do that. She's trying to how to progress with technology. It's always going to be like that. As far as the current standings, you know, we have enough flags in place, enough trackers, and things like that in place to make sure that our students are where they should be. And as far as messages, emails, texts like that going out to parents. I know I'm not receiving any spam or call or like that. Yeah, issue. So overall, I'd say that they're doing a very good job of that. Like, okay, too.
Okay, thank you. Tyler? That was you.
Same as
All right, Shane.
I'm not familiar with the school current guidelines that they're using. I do know that I really haven't gotten any complaints about it from either of my kids. I haven't received anything from home. I do know previously that it's a very important thing in my previous career, that it's very easy for not just bad people, but also kids to take advantage of the system, that it's not their problem. So making sure that we have this in place and it seems to be working. And I think it's a good thing.
I'll try to be better. Do you, this question is going to Ann. Do you support applying for the electric school bus grant from NYSERDA, which covers all costs for switching to electric buses above the cost of replacing a diesel bus? If so, what are the advantages of this? And if not, tell us your reason.
There is no thing. I do not like this EV stuff. It's actually worse for the world, the mining for the lithium. Our own power grid in our community can handle EV buses. If we could, we would, even if we spent the money on it, by the time we were done, and the battery cost to replace it is phenomenal. I mean, we wouldn't be able to keep up. The bus companies would be making a fortune, but we don't even know how these will last for the winter, because we have some pretty harsh winters. And electric cars, buses, anything, really haven't had the best of luck for a winter.
Okay,
So, that was.
all right. Your answer is no. Krista?
No, also, I'm sure gonna go on with a nice, solar farm on top of that. No, I agree with that. Disposing of them, way they're actually, using for diesel and everything else to make the battery, whether or not this is safe, as Facebook, the school district, the capital district, not there about because it's not working, chicken scam, who knows? But I would hope not.
Okay. Travis?
there's a lot more that I think that a lot of people realize. There are a lot of state mandates being put in place for electric vehicles, which personally I don't think are at all, they should be generating this electric. Hybrids would be a little bit more of a viable option that you're still using fuel as needed and viable electric backup. Just like vehicles like that. But with the things in the pipeline, I think that's probably the best way to kind of have a interim meeting of the actual outage. And you know, from my understanding, we're almost a decade out of our actual grid with support that process, let alone anybody else. District that say they don't have electric vehicles and have all that extra load events to the grid. So I think if it's something that's getting managed by the state, I think rather than put it all later, whether add on that it's probably going to have that. It's common for the electric.
Okay, thank you. Shane?
I would say it's probably a good time to start looking at it and explore it. If we can get an electric bus and have the cost covered by grants, so we can put this one down the road under a state mandate, I would say now's the time to explore the idea, see what we can do, pilot program and see if it works for us. I've heard rumors of fire trucks that were electric that had problems in the public service sector. I know that I've built electric vehicles in the police sector that didn't pan out what they did. So I would definitely focus on a pilot program, put together a committee to do the research, run out and buy the first electric bus for sale, make sure that the grant covers the additional costs as it comes the cost is not a community budget, the rest of the taxpayer budget. This, these mandates are coming whether we like it or not. So now's the time to figure.
Okay, thank you. Eric?
I don't think the mandates are realistic and infrastructure for it. I don't see how it's possible or a good idea at this point. So I'll take that.
Okay. All right, back to you. Number one. Our ball fields and skating rink at the end of field on River Street with views overlooking the bridge to the north and the Palisades southeast are at risk of development by people from outside of our community. What are your thoughts concerning this?
I don't, but yeah, I feel like the field time is hard to get in. Gym time, after softball over there, which you can modify. Soccer. The oldest non-for-profit hockey program in New York State. And if you get rid of that, you'll have no place for someone to play hockey for fundraiser for $40 fee. And if you're going to do that, I would love you to another area to put more field because just the elementary school and the high school, they won't cut it for our sports.
Okay, thank you. Travis, do you want me to repeat the question? Our ball fields and skating rinks at the end of the field on River Street with views overlooking the bridge to the north and the Palisades to the southeast are at risk of development by people from outside of our community. What are your thoughts concerning this?
I think we should definitely be kind of putting our students first in our long life, within our district, or I should say, attending the school itself, or something like that. There are a lot of programs. There are hockey programs, there's softball programs. I know we have football down there, and stuff kind of down there. A lot of sports around there. Unless there's some way to keep access to those fields to our community, in demand for students now, which is little to no fee, which doesn't seem very plausible that we've done correctly, and having access to those affordable tutoring programs. It's certainly a plausible, good thing, unless if that was able to happen. A lot of students would be out there, student loans would be out there around the fields, forests.
Okay, thank you. Shane?
Well, it's kind of a big question, so I'm going to answer it a little bit in a vague way. But I believe that I would be open to it, absolutely. What is going to be the benefit of the school district in the area for the kids? That's the first thing that I want. If this is a program that can use the benefit our business and benefit our kids to go here, why not explore it and see what the options are? See what we can do. I know that we do have a hockey rink down there. We have a great hockey program. I know a lot of different families, my family members would play. But I also know there's concern to move that elsewhere. I know Gathered Park has a covered area for those that use a couple ice rink for the winter time. Helps keep the ice cold longer, doesn't help on the blacktop. We do have town property. The town is now purchased. They're looking to put in a town park. We can look at working together to try to develop the area, to make sure that we don't lose any of the resources or the opportunities we have for our children, but also expand on that and grow. But yes, I would definitely be for it.
Okay, thank you. Would you like me to repeat the question now? Okay.
One of the reasons I'm moving views, trees. One of my favorite things is to see my kids play on those fields. I think there's some evidence that we have, older homes.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
Just.
Yes. Our ball fields and skating rinks at the Emma Field on River Street, with views overlooking the bridge to the north and Palisades to the southeast, are at risk of development by people from outside of our community. What are your thoughts concerning this?
Well, from what I hear through the grapevine from people from the YMCA, people around town, that it's looking to be, that land to be sold to the YMCA, to turn into new spot for YMCA, so we want to give it road. For a school, all that land, and then change it over to see what the conflict of interest. I grew up here, me and all my friends used to skateboard there, ice skate there, we played soccer there. We need to focus within instead of having outside development kind of destroy.
Okay, Travis, this question is going to go to you first. What is your 5-year vision for the disposition of the historic Main Street School?
I don't know that answer. We vision for that. I know that I'd like to see it used. I know growing up as a kid, I have summer programs there. Very minimum facilities were used as far as a little bit of storage, restrooms for the summer programs. I feel like I've lived in this thing for a very long time. And it requires quite a bit of work to get the up and running. I know it being as old as it's, that there are lots of concerns with that. Absolutely, with that, there's a lot of expense. Whether actually renovating it versus tearing it down, out there, I don't know if that's the first. Besides that, I think that's definitely a good involvement. I think that's been in the talks for a little bit around the community. I think that's that really needs to discuss very, like I said, that is the very historic building in the village. That's important just to make sure that I get the collective thought and put that into the movies.
Okay, thank you. Shane?
I believe something needs to be done for the building. Either we need to make a decision and retrofit it, bring it back up to spec so it can be used. Maybe take it or turn it into a historic building, like a museum, something along those lines, or tear it down and build something new that coming out, whether or not it's a historic building. But right now, it's sitting there, it needs to repair, they need to utilize its wasting space. But what comes with that is cost. How do we pay for that? There are grants out there, depending on which way we decide to go, we need to figure out the cost. What that's going to be. Then we need to plan for that. Different funding, maybe there's grants that we can fund, maybe there's donations from local people or community that we can find. My first idea would be utilizing it for like a VOTEC school, our own little one right there, with a great small, just to walk right down to it, teach different programs. I remember I took a lot of shop classes in high school. The only reason I could probably change the fire station or whatever. So I'd like to see something along those lines.
Okay, thank you, Shane. Eric?
Kind of the same answer, but if the
Speak up.
community wants to save it, need to look at those goals for it, be renovated and like, proceeds, put something in there that could actually be utilized. I think that would be great. Where has a lot of museum spots that are underutilized, but haven't been able to actually use. Would be a good start.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
All right. Well, to be honest, that building has been up in the air with a lot of people talking about it for a very long time. To me, it's a beautiful building. I've always thought it was a beautiful building. Kind of represents a lot of, the beauty of what this town is. Revamping it, whatever, whatnot, we actually have to look at the cost, but I'm pretty sure we have a bunch of volunteers that love to look into it and what it's possible. Other than that, Just tearing it down, sounds like you just don't care about the sound of the building.
And Krista.
Funny, but it's actually comes up a lot. With other people. We have a historical building, and I know that it's in a lot of disrepair, sure, it's full of assets, so there would need to be a lot of work. And I'm sure everything is something. Be very excited, very happy in this building, but my head, is the junction of the village, it's that island, that's on the water side. It's that building, there for the children to yeah. And then you can put something nice down on the water side, more businesses.
Okay. All right, just have a few more questions. This one's gonna go to Chambers. What are your spending priorities in the school budget? And what programs are off limits to you for cuts, I guess?
My spending priorities are going to be education classes, number one, to make sure that we offer the best we can for the students. Number two is going to be sports. I like having the active, like the program. I think our sport program, and I don't think versus others, we've grown. I see kids coming out to play ball, coming out to play basketball, teams getting hurt. When I see other districts not being able to put together, those are two things that are my priorities. Kids need to learn, they need a good education. With the sports, he's going to be a leader, he's going to be a team player. Work out different issues with other people. I think those are that I would try and best not talk. I would never say that nothing's off the table. I've done budgets before, we've had contractual obligations, fringe benefits, things that have to go with get paid. Each of the building, but something can happen in the mix that we have to find money for. So there's always a chance that you have to cut something you don't want to cut, but still would be my priority.
Okay, thank you. Eric?
I would think it's all the tables, instructional, teacher salaries. Right now, the state and financial outlook, rent actually looks better than most districts. I'd say the investing in technology and our infrastructure.
Any limits to any programs that are off limits?
I don't see what it looks like. There is a drain on the budget. Some, we're not turn on. Looking at the district data would help. But I think that's where we could start. Really see where the money's going. Programs, or return,
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
Could you repeat the question?
What are your spending priorities in the school budget? And what programs are off limits for cuts for you?
All right, well, one, I'm not even thinking about cuts. Right now, we're in the process of our school budget as it is. We get allocated ideas from, they've sent out things, community. We get a little more detailed stuff, like the library, which I picked up. You can foil act what they got, but it's a little less informative. Honestly, I would really like to get on the board so I can really delve into things, because honestly, our first focus always be education. Our students matter. Every child matters. And what we do from there, everything else is just as important. Art, music, sports. We got to treat all these things just as important as the other. So how do we say what would we cut and what's off limits when we really don't see how the money's being used?
Okay. Krista?
I agree with the table. I think education is definitely a priority. But not salary. For creative sports mom. Actually, a little bit more in the budget for sports. But where we are right now is doable. So those would be two things.
Okay, thank you. And last, um,
And as far as things out, they are, I think there's some, it's obvious, this would be facilities, having some sort of reserve in case we have to, facilities, we're down, conscious of that. And education is always number one priority, to school district. That's what we're here for. I think I would like to try to include sports and technology. All of those artists, I love that, we all love that, it's all considered growing, molding our students and children. I think that it's one of those things that we can look at carefully. I know sometimes we got to keep programs live and aren't necessarily there. We could definitely put all the effort into keeping the program growing, and try to go from back. They don't have money, we have to realize it's just not feasible anymore. And maybe keeping set back or anything, back to that point, it's definitely something we have. And it's just something that is independent of the whole community that it's good to take a look at laws, which are going to get into the plan process. Great one.
okay, thank you. This is going to be our last question before our closing statement. Does that work for you? Okay. Besides academics, what kind of support can we offer our students? And this question is going to go to Eric first.
I think it's important for social guidance counselors, nurses that are going to be involved, and we can look at that and see what more we could do to help our students before school, after school, what programs that we're lacking in our community. Students are going on a lot, super smart, they see a lot on the internet. I think it's just being supportive, looking at things in a new way, being monitored, or being through the times, being realistic to what they need and what they're focused on.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
Yes, repeat the question.
Yes. Besides academics, what kind of support can we offer our students?
Well, I was speaking to one of my friends up on the reservation, and what he does is have his class, so he teaches it himself, and it's about supporting and giving each other, support. If we actually taught our children to support each other, even in our differences, you imagine how much where we could push. It would be phenomenal. I don't know, a great job.
Okay, that's all right. We're almost to the closing statement, so this will have a few more people to answer questions. Oh, you want to use a credit card?
No, because the last question, when trying to finish it, and now I forgot it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So besides academics, what kind of support can we offer our students?
I think with the emergence of technology, social media, emotional and mental health support. It's not okay, it used to be. Kids are trying to navigate this world where things right there, we practice them on phones. So I think school and mental health would be good additions.
Okay, thank you. Travis?
I don't know if it's necessarily the same line or the kind of support which we outline our students is either, you know, our students and children in sort of that part of 13 years or more, within these walls. It's kind of something that develop relationships that are everlasting. I can go back and remember, if I have to go back and describe things that happened in East Valley School that really kind of shaped what I was as a person. And I think it's important to kind of be there and to provide whatever kind of support a student may need, whether it's something they might have the greatest home life, they might not have access to certain things, or you know, it could be as simple as saying hello to them in the morning when they come through this, just be the thing that they needed, right? I had a good day and have a about ready. I don't know if there's necessarily a, like I said, I don't know if there's a natural description for kind of small leaders. I gotta have to be there for all of them.
Okay, thank you. All right, Shannon, you get the last word on this question.
Well, I would like to see basically 3 different programs to focus on. The first being a peer support program. We already have unofficial leaders within our school, our kids. We have captains of the basketball team, kids that other kids look up to. I can come in and say something, but I'm looking at something that's 5 and actually affecting 5 years down the road. These kids aren't even looking at what's going to happen at lunchtime. So by having another kid that they can look up to, another student, someone that maybe offer different types of training for those kids that want to volunteer, to be there to help the other kids out. A peer support program. I would like to see a mentorship program where we can bring in people from in the community, help mentor the kids that are looking to find something to put a path down the road, something they can interest. Someone that's a good example and full time standard. And then, at-risk kids. I know in Saratoga we had different groups we would focus on kids that we identified as being at a higher risk of something going on. Maybe they went through a trauma or there's something going on at home, there's a different type of abuse or something along those lines. Or we could create a program that we focus on addressing their issues, making sure they have everything that could be anything from clothes and food at home to counseling. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's now time for closing statements. Candidates, you have no more than a minute for your closing statement, and I'm sure you've all practiced. So, Christy, you can go first.
Actually, it's not. But like I said, I have 2 kids. I have a great school district, and I think with collaboration, and community, we find this place a stronger place and a great place for our kids and their children. That's right.
Okay, thank you. Travis?
Like I said before, I've been a long time in school. I've done a lot of things with the education received here. I have kids that are 2 of them going to school right now. And I think, yeah, for I'd like to just be able to help in anything possible to make sure that my children, the community should receive the education and having access to this.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'm sorry. Shane?
First, I'd like to thank you, the legal and voters for posting into that. I have 2 kids in the school. This is important to me. I got the plan. I've retired. Like I said, my wife's kind of trying to keep me busy, finding stuff for me to do, so I can donate the work to the program or to the Board of Education School District. I know that something like this is very important. It's not just meeting once a month and getting together for 2 hours. It's going to require time during the day, on the weekends, if you're going to make it, do your best to make the program be successful. So I'm looking forward to doing that if I'm offered the opportunity. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today.
Okay, thank you very much. Eric?
Thanks for coming out. Hopefully I came across soon. Get the picture of me. I like being involved in schools. I like fixing problems and bring solutions. I enjoy hearing alternate views. I just want to be involved. I want to help the district be the best it can and leave a legacy behind where it grows, prospers. Thank you.
Okay, and Anthony,
Well, just want to say thanks for having us. Other than that, I had this big huge closing thing. But to be honest, you know, I'm here to help our students. I'd like to see how we can help our community. All these things matter, some people financial, our, shoot, I forgot the word. Our policies, improve on our policies, and just make it all more great for our community. But the truth is, we have a lot of resistance. Our teachers aren't happy. We're fearful for the jobs, and our kids are not being helped the way they should. So I think that's why most of us are sitting here, because we do want to make a difference. But the problem is, we're flooding with all these questions. We really need to help our kids. And I'm sorry if it hurts or it makes anybody upset, but the truth is the truth. Ignore the problem, the kids don't get help, kids are gonna kill themselves, and it's gonna be on the administration. And since the administration hasn't been doing anything, I'm here to do so.
thank you. Okay, don't forget to vote. I'm sure you're here, so you're going to tell all your neighbors. The election is Tuesday, May 21st, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the Corinth Transportation Conference Room on 30 Saratoga Avenue, Corinth. I want to thank all the candidates for attending this event and helping to educate the voters on what your views are on how to help the district. And I want to thank the public for submitting questions, the audience for attending and being such a polite, good audience, and all the viewers who have taken the time to watch this event and learn about the candidates. Good evening.